No, wrong channel, wrong guy. I'm the I'm the Gungeon guy, not the salt guy. Let's run this back, why don't we? All right, Enter the Gungeon. This game has been around since 2016, and the speedrunning community for the game has just as long of a history. But today we're going to discuss a very specific part of this game's history. On April 15th, 2019, Napalm submitted an 80% run that would go on to hold the world record position for over 3 years. In this run, Napalm played as the bullet character, which is equipped with the sword Blasphemy. I've already made a video talking about this run, so in this video we'll briefly summarize the 7-minute and 1-second run that dominated the Gungeon leaderboards for so long. Napalm very early on in the run gets a random brown chest after clearing a room, and within said chest was an item called the escape rope, which is used to teleport the player to the shop. Using this, Napalm was able to skip a major part of each chamber's rooms, and as a result was able to reach the boss on each chamber much quicker than what would normally be possible. Because of this, along with some very lucky map generation, boss spawns, and weapon drops, Napalm was able to complete his run in 7 minutes and 1 second, which was the game's first sub 8-minute run. For 3 years, this record would stay in the top position. Napalm had gotten an insanely lucky run, and the Gungeon community was content with just doing the best they could and not trying to re-roll runs over and over and over again, looking for something to beat the 1 in a million luck that Napalm had gotten. It simply was more fun for runners to let runs be mediocre than to spend countless hours looking for a run that was game-changing. However, that's when I entered the game. On April 10th, 2022, I uploaded a video titled, Explaining the Greatest Gungeon Speedrun of All Time. This video, much to my delight, performed extremely well and received over 100,000 views. I bring this up not for the purpose of bragging about my own success. Well, not entirely anyways. See, this video actually ended up having an effect on the Gungeon community as a whole, bringing in lots of new players into the community and lots of eyes on the future of the speedrun as a whole. Perhaps it's arrogant of me to claim, but I think I played a major part in breathing new life into the game. Now, with a well-deserved spotlight on the game and the world record run, a player by the name of HollowGun, who had previously held a firm second place position with an 8-minute and 43-second run, submitted on December 27th of 2021, decided to begin grinding runs in an attempt to beat Napalm's world record. I refuse to claim that I was the cause of this. I may be arrogant, but I believe HollowGun was inspired to begin trying to reach the world record due to his own passion for the game. I'm just a journalist, a reporter of the news. Anyways, HollowGun began to grind runs and submitted a new PB on April 20th of 2022. This run utilized a completely different strategy to the one that Napalm had used in 2019, using the Gunslinger character rather than the bullet. HollowGun spent the first minute and 58 seconds of the run exploring the first chamber, and even after he found the boss room, he decided to continue exploring in an effort to find the first chamber's chests. Within one of them was the AWP, an extremely powerful sniper that, comboed with the Gunslinger, is capable of instantly killing nearly all the bosses in the game. How it works is, for every 360 spin that the player does with the cursor around their character, the damage of the AWP's next shot would be increased by 1.5 times the base damage. This could be stacked up to 6 times, and as a result, would be capable of doing massive damage after said spins. So, after acquiring the AWP, HollowGun would go on to breeze through the rest of the chambers. He managed to get some pretty decent luck throughout the run, getting an item called the Shotgun Cola that increases movement speed, and getting frequent ammo refills throughout the run that allowed him to continually use the AWP, even outside of boss battles. This run was good, but the very next day HollowGun submitted yet another run that managed to beat his previous PB by 47 seconds. In this run, HollowGun was able to pick up the AWP after only 38 seconds of exploring the first chamber, and as a result, was able to cruise through the rest of the first chamber much quicker. Other than this, there weren't any real sources of time save in this run besides good chamber luck. HollowGun is a very knowledgeable runner of Enter the Gungeon, and as a result is able to almost always go down the path leading to the boss chamber without any accidental detours. Thus, when it comes to chamber layouts, the question is not whether or not Hollow will be able to navigate it efficiently, but rather whether or not the chamber is generated in a way where the rooms will have minimal enemies and the path will have minimal rooms. In this run, the chamber generation was much luckier than the previous one, and as a result, HollowGun was able to beat the game in 7 minutes and 43 seconds. The note HollowGun put on his run? One word: soon. This was the second ever sub 8 minute run, and HollowGun was proving to be a real threat to Napalm. Which is why, on April 30th of 2022, Napalm submitted a new run with a time of 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Napalm had proven once again what made him king of the any percent category: insane luck and phenomenal adaptation to said luck. This time, Napalm chose to play as the Gunslinger, embracing the new meta strategy of acquiring the AWP. This wasn't something Napalm was too happy with, however, with his note on the run being, "I hate this strat." Anyways, let's dive into Napalm's run. Napalm manages to get some really good luck, acquiring the AWP in only 15 seconds. This sort of sets the pace for the rest of the run, and just like HollowGun, Napalm is very knowledgeable regarding the chamber generation in Enter the Gungeon. The first 4 chambers go really well for Napalm, as his chamber luck is good and his navigation is perfect. However, on the 5th chamber, Napalm wastes some time on an unnecessary detour. Upon arriving on the 5th chamber, Napalm decides to go up rather than down. This decision leads him to a dead end at the shop, wasting 28 seconds. After this mistake, Napalm proceeds to go down relative to the elevator and goes in the correct path, except for one detour into a chest room. After he reaches the boss, he actually misses the final shot, but once again, this doesn't lose any more than a single second. The reason I point out the mistakes in Napalm's world record isn't to demean him or take away from his run. It's still really good and nearly half the time of my own PB. The reason I'm pointing out these imperfections is because there's major potential that exists for the world record to be improved upon. HollowGun, Napalm, or any other runner who's willing to step up to the plate has the opportunity to cement themselves in Gungeon history now. And if some runner was able to somehow come up with some strat that was faster than Gunslinger op strats, they would certainly break the sub 6:30 threshold, if not the sub 6 minute threshold. Whatever the future for Gungeon speedruns may hold, I'm certain that Napalm's most recent world record will not stay in its position for 3 years like the last one, and I'm certain that the game's history is far from over. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. Since we hit 1,000 subscribers far before the date I set, my new goal is to hit 2,000 subscribers before July 1st. I've got a new video about up-and-coming roguelike game Peglin coming up, and as soon as there's a new news regarding Gungeon any percent runs, I'll be the first to report it. Anyways, I won't keep you fine viewers here for any longer. Thanks for watching.